Hello, everybody. It's me, Malachi, staff on Dragon Ball Z League. Today, this is Dragoncast episode 20 something. I am joined today by.
Enemy chore.
Yeah.
And Tosh.
Yeah. Um, so we've had a good first half of the season. We are even 2/3 of the way done now. Getting ready to go into our All Stars event. We just recorded it and the stream for week 9 last night. We're going to be doing the first of our 2 weeks of All Stars this coming week with our sweeper games this year. The theme is the Demolition Derby. That is, similar to last year where we had the Yamcha games where you went up against 5 Cybermen who were built to blow up. It's the same idea this year, with just a different lineup. This year, it's Chaozu, Android 16, Semi-Perfect Cell, Majin, Vegeta, and Super Buu. All of these guys have a explosive ultimate as well, and your job is just to survive. Before we go to the main part of the All-Stars, what do you guys think of this?
Oh, I think it's gonna be fun. I got to test it a little bit and see how it's going. And yeah, it's really fun to watch. It's gotta be careful, Just it's gonna be interesting to see what the strategies that come out to try to survive all those explosions.
It's
Mm,
definitely a nice change to see. You get to change the characters a little bit. Even though I don't have Cyberman anymore, it was fun to see him destroy people because I know he can do it. But hey, I don't mind. We get to see some ults that we rarely get to see from others. So I'm fine with that too.
yeah.
And that's exactly my thoughts. We so rarely get to see these ultimates, so it'll be nice to potentially see them a little more.
Yeah. And I think I've said before, like, I one of the reasons why I have enjoyed being on staff for so long is coming up with all the different events and helping make them work. Like, just not just the regular 3v3 and TOP or 4v4 or 5v5, but like all these one-off events we do. I just have so much fun doing them and coming up with like the different quirks, like, and like you said, Kaya, just like having all the self destructs that we never get to see, and you have that tension of, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? Yes, they do it. No, it got blocked. It's great. I think last year's Yamcha Games was one of the most positive streams that we had, and it was great.
For
Um,
sure.
but
It's a lot worse actually now, then. But it's actually worse. I feel like the way I see in testing. Ooh, it's gonna be even worse.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody does with that. It's promising to be a great time. Um, and after that, after this week, where we have our sweeper games and the demolition derby, we will have the All Star games. This year, we're bringing back Burter's Cruiserweight Chase Down and Android 21's Feeding Frenzy. For those who don't remember, Burter is given an invincibility. He's given an invincibility build, lots of B1 Pataras to try and stay in max power mode all the time. And your goal is to survive 3 minutes with him. Conversely, Android 21 Feeding Frenzy she is given the Patara called Go to Hell, which is your B2 will kill in one hit, and you need to take her down. Um, the saving grace is she is given the slowest charge rate that is possible for her to have. For this event in particular, we're showcasing some of the helper Pataras that we came up with last year, like active charge minus 60%, key minus 4. Her charge rate is so bad. You guys have no idea. Her charge rate is so freaking bad. But that's the only way you're gonna have a chance to beat her. And then of course we have the Kami versus Guru. Our candidates for this match have been selected. Teams have yet to begin the drafting yet. That will, today's Sunday. We will open up drafting probably right after we get done recording. But Kami versus Guru will have a 5v5 best of 3. Probably the biggest difference this year is we are opening up Kami versus Guru to have access to 1 boost or Patara priced at 4 points, or 1 red Patara priced at 5 points. Last year, these were just for the Birder and 21 events. This year, it's for all of our All-Stars events. Just to let you guys, our active supporters, have a few more options to play with. A little bit more strategy. Maybe find another way to go further beyond. Yeah. So let me shut up and open the floor to the rest of you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
Well.
I was just going to say, I do just want to point out you did mention All Star, so just for those that may not have seen the at the end of the stream or haven't gotten to it, the top 10, the picks for All Star, you got Frost with 27 votes, Raditz at 19 votes, Bobbity at 18, Hercule at 7, Hercule, Fasha are both at 17 votes. Then you got Jiren at 15, First Form Frieza at 12, Gohan Buu at 12, Deborah at 11, and Goku coming in at number 10 with 10 votes. So those are the people that Kami versus Guru that can be picked up for either side. And just wanted to mention that before we moved on. So you can go ahead, Enemy.
No, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, I'm looking forward to see the improved strategies coming up for the bird chase in 21, because we tried last year, and now they kind of know what they're in for. So hopefully the strategies will improve, and hopefully we'll get more teams that can last through it, both of them. And also, for the what was it for the event, that's kind of cool to actually have the new red or a boost store. It's gonna be fun to see if they how they get implemented into the match, and see if who it's yeah, it's always fun to see, like, it's always cool to see, like, oh, like, I get to finally use these once in a while, so it's kind of cool for them as well, for the coaches. So
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
just happy to see Tosh went over the list of people. I'm happy to see a couple of the people on there. Seeing friggin' Albany get voted in was probably the greatest thing.
Bobbity and Raditz.
Yes. Bobbity, Raditz. Honestly, I had personally voted Frost, Raditz, Bobbity, uh, Deborah, I think Hercule. So I think all my guys got in.
Nice.
Raditz just because it's just too funny.
Yeah.
You got Buzz turning over in his. He's still alive, but you got him turning over in his grave right now.
I don't know. The announcement, I haven't heard anything from him since the announcement. He may have died
He may have.
when this was revealed.
Yeah.
Well, someone needs to, continue to ride its slander, and I definitely will in his place.
Oh, man.
plus
Yeah.
a big property, KO, because the my own Majin coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always kind of had a soft spot for Bobbity because he does fit a very niche but decent build type. So
He really does.
you slap Dragon Power on him, you slap some Key Boost, he's set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he fits these really niche boosts. He fits in these really niche spots. Like, I kind of liked what Derp tried to do with him last year, and I suggested they run with it, was defense 2, rush blast 2, and key control. just to max out the damage that they could on his rush blasts. And there were a few weeks it worked well. And this year, like you said, just Dragon Power super, and he does really well. I think this week he kind of got shut down a bit, but it's a good niche. But yeah,
Works.
go ahead.
It works.
But yeah, as we're looking forward to rest of the season going into next year, I think we've said before that 2025, at least the main season, will still be on Tenkaichi 3. So one thing we are looking for from everybody still is any map or costume suggestions that you guys have. We're not going to guarantee that they'll be included, but we'll at least look at them. We've already pulled in, we've already started reviewing, a number of maps and costumes that have been suggested to us. So, if you're an active supporter, we have heard your requests. I know I've at least given a cursory look at every suggestion that has been given to us. Not going to say whether or not it was passed or anything like that, unless everyone else here wants to pull the curtain back a little on some of the things we have talked about. But
I mean, that's up to you. I don't honestly. My week has been, or my time has been busy. I don't remember. Not going to lie.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, but you know what? Let's let's pull back on one thing. Would you guys rather reveal a map we have talked about or a costume?
Ooh.
Let's do a map because that affects everyone.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll bring up two maps then. I'll bring up my favorite and then one that was brought up very specifically for for new stuff. The map I'm looking most forward to is Prison Planet. It's a Namek reskin and it looks great. The other one is the Dragon Ball World Martial Arts Tournament. And I think I brought this up to the rest of the staff. What I found hilarious was you could fight amongst the people because of how the barriers were set up. So that was very fun to watch, where the cameraman lost the fighters in the midst of all the people. So, but yeah.
Yeah, it would definitely be interesting to see that.
Oh yeah. I think we've since fixed that to where that won't happen in the future, but it was fun for testing to fix all the things. Yeah, that, as I said, we're looking forward to it. We do take every suggestion seriously and do our best to give it the consideration it needs. Do you guys have any other comments y'all want to make on that before we move on?
Not in particular.
Move one arm.
Oh. Oh no! Well, now that you said that, now I've got to go find the costume that Ben Z made of like Dark Future one arm.
You know what? Now it gets no arms. So
well, no. Now we got to do Cyborg arm next.
That's actually better than one arm, honestly. For that.
All right. Yeah. So after this, we just want to plug our volunteer teams. All of the people we have on our modding team that are helping out. Geom, staff member has been helping us out look at some stuff. Vive is still very active there. Graphics, we could not do what we do without our graphics team. Just doing great job with everything they do there. Stats is our other, stats and graphics are kind of our major main season and postseason effort locations. We could not do all the stuff we do, like All Stars would not be possible at all without our stats team. If you guys are listening and you're looking for a place to volunteer stats and graphics during the main season, testing during the off season. Those are the main places that we always are looking for volunteers. You know, if you're interested, join us in the Discord. Link should be in the description. So, but yeah,
Hey, testers as well. Well,
uh,
right?
what was that?
Testers. I didn't hear. Did you say testers as well?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
they're
cool.
they're just active during the off season. So because we do so many tests during the off season, we don't need main season testing.
Yes.
But yeah, so I think that
Also, our commentators
yeah,
and
commentators. Oh man, how could I forget them? That 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 they are a patient bunch. Always doing a great job every week on commentary. Uh, yeah, lots of
When
places to volunteer.
they step up too when they're not when they're off, they step up.
Yep.
When someone calls out over this, so I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, so many times where someone's been like, "Hey, I can't do it," and either our backup person can't, someone else will jump in, and they're a great group of people. So, but yeah, lots of places for people to get involved, and yeah.
Cool. I tool. Tools. I'm a lazy guy. Went to a voter, but I'm lazy. I think those guys too.
Hmm.
Yeah. Even though we're not really doing much currently.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, tools are. Yep. But yeah, let's move on to our questions. So, got a fair number of questions here. First up, from Bad to the Bow. Ignoring the need for balance and current power level of teams, what are some modded characters you wish you could add into the league, and to what teams? Enemy, start us off.
Oh god. I honestly can't think of anything right now. I mean, go trying to look for a. So, can you, next person, please? I'm gonna give you a second. I need to think about it.
uh, you know what? Ran fan for Budokai.
Should have seen that one coming.
Yeah, I think that'd be a fun one.
What is first question? What modded character? I don't know, honestly. Moro, I guess. Like,
Yeah,
if
What
there
team would
is
he go
like
on?
a more, I
that
don't know.
that's a good question.
Because you can't say RW because he never died.
Right.
I don't even know, honestly.
Yeah, he might.
Maybe you say like Royals
Uh,
because I think they call him like Lord Moro. Like, I don't
Maybe.
know.
I'd have to look back, but
yeah,
It's been a while since I've
that's
read that arc.
yeah. It's been a while. I think the Lord thing is more just the Japanese sama thing that we've said before, where we're not really considering for royalty. Um, but yeah, no, that'd be a hard one. He might have to be FA locked at the
Or
moment.
even the android that was in that arc too that Moro ended up absorbing
Yeah, like
or
73,
whatever.
I think
Yeah,
he was.
73.
Yeah,
Yep.
73 was
oh,
good.
I guess he could be a hybrid.
Yeah, like if you had the final form Moro, you could do like where he had
Yeah.
73 merged in with him.
The
You
thing
could
I
do
like
hybrid.
about I think the thing with 73 is more so because of how his whole thing works. He could literally just have like his whole fighting style could just be a combination of everyone. Um that so you could go that route. So it's not like, it's kind of different.
Yeah.
Not you won't have this like same straight up combo like everyone else. So that would be one character I would like to see modded and
Yeah.
everything. That would be cool.
Yeah, no, he would be fun. For me, it depends on how we would go. Like if we wanted to do some of the deep cuts, it would be like some of the what if characters like Go Cool or Chill. Well, Chilled's not a what if, but some of the OVAs like that. Like Chilled, just some of those others. Like Chilled would fit on Cold. Go Cool could be a hybrid. I don't know.
I would like to
Those
see Cumber. Cumber is
Cum
also another one.
yeah, Cumber would be fun. Like
Mm.
although he would clearly fit on Muscle.
Well, Muscle, Kaiju, well, Kaiju is Saiyans, Cinema, I guess you could say maybe. I don't
Mm,
know how you'll classify that because I know it's a show, but like it's like a promotional thing
yeah, I
more
mean
so
that would
than
probably
anything.
come down to if we classified it as an OVA or like the OVAs or like its own anime series. But I could get behind letting Cumber be on Cinema. I think I'm not going to spend too much effort on thinking through that one.
I mean,
You could
I
get
would also,
freaking Golden Ozaru too. So
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, I would love to see like this the what was it, the animaker, the Goku, Dragon Ball series, what was it, the card series, or the Bang, like the Bang, or whatever that's what it's called. You know what I mean about, right? The one that's currently
The
yeah,
Big
yeah,
Bang,
you're still talking about Super Dragon Ball Heroes, yeah.
yeah,
like not Heroes, but like yeah, but like the
yeah, he's talking about Big
that
Bang Mission.
animation.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's the promotional for Super Dragon Ball Heroes.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, I mean, I love to see like some of those characters added. Like all those alternative like characters.
Yeah,
Said
few.
Saiyan 3, like Super Saiyan 3 Trunks. All random
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah. I
Yeah.
will say, like, Dragon Ball has some of the most in, entertaining what ifs, and some of the Dragon Ball Heroes has a lot of interesting stuff in it. Is the way I think I want to say it. Like they don't. It is rare for them to go like how I want to say it. Like they know how to do the fan service right is kind of what I want to say, because they know you want to see like Super Saiyan Blue 3 or Super Saiyan Rose 3 because it looks awesome, but but yeah. So, Kaio, any final comments on this first question before we move on?
No, we're good.
Okay. Moving on to question 2 from Bad to the Bow. So this question was asked a couple weeks ago, so these records are a little different now, but just bear that in mind. Currently, there are 6 teams going strong with a 5-2 record, and on the inverse, 6 teams with 2 or less wins. Are there any teams in these upper lower margins that you're surprised to see there? What tips would you have for beating them or for helping them succeed?
Yeah,
Or
good.
you want to do current standings right now, or are we still just
Yeah,
not sure which ones are
we'll
5 and
go
2?
off the current standings, like just anyone in the 5 and 4 or above crowd, or
Well,
in the
I think actually, not 6 teams. We got 4 teams where we got 2-7-2, and we got 2 that are 2-7.
yep.
So, um, so Budokai and Muscle are the 2 at the bottom.
Hmm.
Trying to think. I think
Or
Muscle's just having a rough year. I don't think it's like. I think it's just been some bad matchups in some instances and
Yeah,
weird stuff. Like I don't think either of those teams are bad. Like I think they're just getting bad luck this year.
mm,
some characters I think are like struggling a bit more than what they did last season. Like I don't know if I don't think early Goku really changed builds, excuse me,
Yeah,
from
he's
last season to this season. But his defense 3 build is not doing as well as it did last season, where he
yeah,
was
yeah.
pulling like 50K plus performances like for a good chunk of the time, maybe. So that
Yeah,
staying power is just getting kind of just demolished.
it is. Like for muscle, I think I agree with Kaio on a lot of that, where a lot of it is just matchups, and then a couple other characters are just rolling low on the RNG. And then some weeks, like this week, it's just holy shit, O'Reilly.
Okay.
Um,
I
yeah,
mean, she's a demon child for a reason. Okay.
We,
she,
we just got a nerfer.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Kyle, you get out of here.
um, yeah, like for Budokai, I think the hard part is they're playing for the team Goku, and I just don't think base Goku is the play, and that really handicapped them a lot in the beginning of the season. Um, what the fix for that is, I don't know just yet.
Base.
Like, I think that's one of the places like you just come back next season, stick him in Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 3, and he'll probably do better. Like it'd be really hard for GT Goku to get worse.
Oh, GT Goku.
Yeah.
I mean,
I,
GT Goku hasn't been doing bad compared to some of their other characters.
uh,
Early Piccolo is like literally right next to him in terms of their average. I know I'm not going to say anything about Nam because Nam just came in like
yeah.
a couple weeks ago. But like early Goku, even before then, was doing worse than GT Goku. And now he recently just changed that now, and who knows? GT Goku actually has been throwing out his ultimates a bit more in his base form
I mean, he's
than
been FA
before.
benched for a couple of weeks now, so
Yeah, but
and I think rightly so, because a lot of it was just he would either do an ult and hold his own and maybe do his 40k, or he would really struggle and do almost nothing. Trying to look and see when the last time he was in was. Yeah, like week 5, it looks like the last time he was in, he did 12k, and he had really one week. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right place. Yeah, like he had 1 week where he was 52k, 1 week at 12k, 1 week at 26, 48, and 39. So I mean, not terrible, but not great. Um, Nam, I think coming in will help though. Like especially on the build they've got him on. Um, on the flip side, congratulations GT. Like I do want to say that they're getting Imperfect Cell working for them quite well.
Yes. That has to be one of my favorite FA success stories that I've seen.
Yeah.
and then on the flip side, I feel bad for androids because the lesser form is working more right now than semi perfect.
Well, he did fine this week though.
Yeah, yeah, but I feel like he's also had bad luck. What is it going against 13 versus
Yeah.
Muscle,
Yeah, he
and
had bad.
then
That
he went against Super 17 against GT.
Yeah,
that is the danger with that form.
it is. Like he had 2 bad matchups, and then 1 week he had like he went up against Birder, and Birder just shut him down, and just it's one of the reasons why when I was on androids I did not like having Cell in semi perfect. Yes, the health regen looks phenomenal on paper. In practice, especially when you have 19 as well, like there's just going to be some teams you're making hard choices against, and knowing where to play Cell and how to bench them when you also have to juggle that with 19 is one of those choices. Now, androids, I'm going to be honest, I fully expect androids to have a much stronger second half of the season, because they spent the first half of their season benching either Cell or 17, and I think that was part of the issue is they were hoping they were strong enough against some of these teams to be able to bench one of them and be able to win. And against some of these teams like Sentai, I just don't think that was the right calculation. So,
But
uh,
who knows? Like that would be not well this year, right? They have a good team, but like don't expect them. They kind of they even they got ultimately gone, but then no one really always it's always definitely kept them on the lower end. So I'm glad they're doing well, and
yeah.
they're doing well.
Um, when it comes to Royals, like I'll be honest, like Royals has gotten really lucky this season. Like this is not to discount their work, but like and maybe this is me being a little biased coming after their match with Derp, where Derp was flat out winning, and then Yamcha just did nothing, absolutely nothing, and gave it back to Royals. And I feel like we've seen that a couple times this season, where Royals is just looking really good on paper, but a lot of it is just RNG. Now, let's be clear, this at the end of the day, this is an RNG league and they're a strong team, so sometimes when RNG even just goes slightly in their favor, they can take over and do really well. So just throwing that out there, but like at the same time, there's no denying that Fat Happy and the other Royal supporters have put in a ton of work on them.
Yeah.
So moving on. Question 3 from Bad to the Bow is: we're just about halfway through the season, though it's still a fair ways off. Any guesses on what the bowl match this year will be, or any in particular you're hoping for?
I
Rugrats to
just
make a
want new people.
Mexico. You want a new winner, yes, and
I just
Rugrats
want
will
new
be the
people.
winner.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on
That's
a
all
serious
I care
note,
about.
why, of course, I would love to see my team make it up there again and win this time. Third time's the charm, right? Now I would really love to see GT, because GT and in terms of themes, GT and Boo Saga are generally like, I just love the Boo Saga because Goten is like one of my favorite characters. Funny enough, in Goten. So it's just like those two themes are great. And if I wasn't on Rugrats, I would probably be going to GT. So seeing them doing extremely well is great to see, and I want to see them taking it all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Another team I would like to see, even though they are in my division, Kaiju,
Ever to me.
maybe. No, never, never on your life. Kaiju, I would love to see Kaiju also make it to the bowl. But overall, I would love to see GT maybe take it all. Like, if my team doesn't make it up there. So yeah.
Yeah. For myself, like I think the dream story would be Sentai versus Derp. Like just knowing the history as a whole of those two teams, Sentai versus Derp would be my favorite matchup. Kind of like Kaio said, as long as we are guaranteed a new winner, I'm a happy camper, though.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
enemy,
Cinema's another one. Sorry.
yeah,
Go
Cinema's
ahead.
another one in there.
I'm just looking at if the standings hold up, for the rest of the year. There's like I think GT, Sentai would be cool to see. Obviously in the bowl. Obviously want to see Code would be cool to see. I mean, this like I'm always a fan of Frieza, so Derp would be Derp Cinema also as well would be fun to see. I mean, there's a couple of good teams I would love to see in the bowl. I mean, but if I had to choose, if to look at the thing, I would probably say probably GT Sentai would be cool to see this and this to see like two teams, like they've been struggling the last couple of years and now they're doing really well. So I'd love to see them progress in the bowl and also see hybrids in there. But that's just me.
Hmm. All right. Last question from Bad to the Bow. In parentheses, he says, I have to include at least one selfish question. Between Super 17, Imperfect Cell, and Sen Shenron, which character do you think has been overperforming the most this season and why?
Super 17.
Yeah.
As in why he he does well in melee, but I just feel in a sense he's just, I don't know. He's just doing even better than usual. Sin Shinron, I can definitely see him doing it. I know he has Super Trap Shooter, but he has a 4x B2 that is great, and I've been loving this super build that y'all had him on. If I recall, that you still have him on a super build.
Hmm.
So like plus he has Omega, who has power up to the very limit, and freaking what is it? Minus energy ball. That's a great and Dragon Thunder. Those B2s are great in itself, and all B2 slash ult. So I can see Shin. He's just finally coming into his own, I feel like. But Super 17 is definitely the one I feel is more so overperforming in terms of right now. Imperfect Cell is kind of 40K ish. I kind of expect him to be somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So
I,
yeah.
I'm kind of with you on that. Like I've worked with Super 17 a bit. I think a lot of that 48. So just for reference, as of right now, which the stat spreadsheet I don't think includes week 9 stats. Nope, it does not. Imperfect Cell is at 39,133 for his average damage. Super 17 is 48,421. Sin Shenron is 49,360. Having worked with Super 17 before, I have to agree. Super 17 is maybe slightly overperforming. Sin Shenron, I think, is also overperforming as well, but not nearly to the same degree. And a lot of it has just been, and you can kind of see this, like when he does a lot of trap shooters, he does not do as well. When he is spamming those blazing storms or whatever he calls it, he just slaughters. And it just comes down to which are you going to get that week. Super 17, he's on a melee build, and I think he has lucked out against a lot of his matchups. So, Kyle, any thoughts?
You guys have kind of pretty much covered it.
Okay, Enemy.
Yeah, I think can I say rarely?
Uh,
No, I'm just she's definitely overperforming a little bit. I mean, she's definitely a good character, but I mean, yeah, she's doing really well this year. I mean, she's kind of going nuts though right now. Um, and also I feel like obviously Poppy is kind of been going crazy too. I mean, I think he's gonna like do really well. Then people are gonna pick him up, and he's probably not gonna do as well. Hopefully, maybe do well, but maybe he won't. You never know.
yeah.
But Poppy's an enigma sometimes. So.
Mhm. All right. Next question from Doorguard. What are some character movesets you would like to change or see change with the new game coming out? For example, people often point out that Majin Buu doesn't have Chocolate Beam in Tenkaichi 3. What are some other cases you want to see new moves or B2s for? Hmm.
I would say like regarding like my team, I know that we saw like in the trailer where it looks like I guess maybe as an ultimate, I think like Goten and Trunks are doing like a what is it, like a friends Kamehameha or something like that. I would love to see like a family Kamehameha, to be honest with you, on any version, whether it's Goku, Gohan, or Goten. I don't care which. Um, those are some moves like that's a move right there that I would love to see. Um, but honestly, like outside of that, I don't know. There's maybe some moves I maybe remember like Gotenks doing that may have not been, in the actual game that I would like
Hmm.
to see maybe. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
The
I can't
only
think of anything on the top of my head.
Yeah, the only one I can think of is I want to I don't know how they would do this, like either as a cutscene or whatever, but like 17 doing the chain of barriers against an attack and being able to use those in some way, either to block attacks or to bounce off of them. I don't know. I don't know how it would work, but I think just doing something with that idea of just having multiple barriers that you can spam would be something really fun to work with. It's just like a completely different play style.
For me, I haven't really been watching a lot of the new games, so I really can't really comment on this too much.
Yeah. What about you, Kyle?
Kind of like what Tosh had talked about a little bit. I'd love to see more like combo supers and ultimates and stuff like that, depending on who's on your team. Um, stuff like that.
Okay. Alrighty. Next question from Armed Roz. Thoughts on Muscle at the moment? They're currently at 6-1 and on a similar
Or
track,
1-6.
or 1-6, and on a similar track record to Derp in 2020. Do you think they'll keep that abysmal record, or will they bounce back?
They got one more win. They doubled their wins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have 100% more wins than they had
Yeah,
previously.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nah. Nah. I feel like honestly, I don't know because like I want to say I can definitely see them bouncing back, but they tend to have someone like not performing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like what is it? I think like last night, apparently like Trunks did great on that build against us. I think he was on the defense build, but Ryan, at least from when I was rewatching my match, I believe they said it was because Bojack was benched that week. So that's not something that he's always going to be on. So it's just like I'm not sure. Like they can definitely bring it around. I think Base Broly has been slowly coming into his own and everything
Hmm.
and being like a little bit better. But like, is it enough? And is Trunks' old build worth going back to, than how he did with this defense build? Do you just try to find something else for Bojack then? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I can see them bouncing back. It's a lot of factors that can kind of go into it.
Just looking ahead at their schedule and who they have, like their next fight is Boo Saga, followed. So just to read off their schedule, it's Boo Saga, Cinema, then it's Derp, and then Kaiju, Budokai, and Cold. I think at the end of the season, even with the way they're swinging back, we're going to be looking at a 5-10 muscle. Because kind of like you said, Tosh, they're bouncing back. They're figuring out some of their people better. 13's still dangerous. He's always going to be dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Trunks and Bojack has really been the rock for the team this season. Trunks is still a little derpy, and it's not clear why. Um, I think a lot of the reason he did well was just because he did well this week was because he was against Cell Jr. and could just build up that momentum, and he kept it while he was fighting Gotenks. I don't know that if you put him against Kid Trunks or a Rayleigh first, that we would have the same conception of how Trunks was doing. But who knows? Maybe they'll try it again in a few weeks, and it will work out, and I'll have to eat my words.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Muscle is notoriously like they're still obviously a really good team. They notoriously do struggle at times, and during the season, but they always seem to squeak by in the playoffs. So I believe they can definitely do it. Make it in.
Oh yeah,
So
they're definitely a far stronger 5-man team than a 4-man team.
squeak in. I think they'll squeak into the playoffs, and then you do Muscle things during the playoffs.
God, with all respect to so I really hope not.
Yeah, I mean, I will say at the moment it is going to be really hard for them to get into the playoffs. It is not impossible, but it is going to be really hard.
I think they'll get a couple more wins for the season is out. I don't think they're going to end 2-13, but
Yeah. As I said, I think we're looking at 4-11 or 5-10 with just who they have to fight from here on
yeah.
out. As I said, like as long as and some of those teams they have to fight are going to be really incentivized to win their matches. That's all I'm going to say. So I think it is an uphill battle for Muscle. I think they could potentially do it, but I think it's going to be an uphill battle. But yeah. Next question from Miranda. Have there been any innovative builds or strategies that have significantly influenced the meta in the league?
Mm, I don't think so.
This season, I'm not sure. Like I don't think this season we've seen that. I mean, throughout the whole history, I mean, probably there's been some builds like Tien's defense build. A
Yeah,
lot of people copied that when he started doing that and doing well with that. Um,
I
I'm
think
sure some people copied Scouter Vegeta's when he 4-1 when he went and killed like 4 people by himself.
hmm
I think Fasha Chase artist is pretty cool.
yeah,
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 but
that
I think it's niche though, because I think maybe one or two other people may use it. I don't really
right.
see that many people outside of Fasha who really uses Chase Down Artist.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the Patara is used, but I wouldn't say it's influencing the meta.
Yeah, I think one thing we are seeing is people leaning more heavily on niches right now. We're also, because over the last couple years, we have introduced a lot of changes, and it's just taken time for people to adjust to what the new options are. Like, because one of the biggest reasons why we never saw the ping pong pataras used all that much was simply because they were so freaking expensive for AI versus AI. Um, and I think we are seeing, as we're seeing more usage of the pataras, like we're seeing Cell on Ultra Divine Water. He had a decent week on it. Um, we're seeing some demonic bargain usages. I think as we see some of those successes start to build up, we'll see some of these other niches get carved out a little more consistently, and that as a whole will influence the meta of the league. Um, like we're seeing more Ultra Instinct Omen usage, we're seeing more key control usage even on non-androids. So the change is there, but it's just small, slow and steady.
Yeah.
All right. Any other comments before I move on?
Nope.
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 Alrighty. From Buzz, if you could Hakai one character from the league, who would it be, and why is it Raditz?
No other questions asked. It got to be Raditz. I'm with you, Buzz.
Yeah, it's just Raditz.
uh,
It
Jiren.
just doesn't. He is not a top class warrior.
Listen, outside of Raditz, Hercule. I hate Hercule with a passion. I really do. He has been a pain in my team's ass for too long. He needs to be gone. But yeah, no, Raditz is number one, then Hercule. So yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think it would be Zengaya first, and just annoy Buzz, Jiren.
um, I would definitely not get rid of any of our modded characters. I don't know who for me, I think I have already gotten rid of the characters that I would get rid of. Like,
Yeah, Chi again, just to be funny.
Funny thing is, I was like the deciding vote. It was like, hey, I don't mind getting rid of Chi. Get rid of her, please. No, I don't want her. I'm not using her.
uh,
I don't want to play with you anymore. What do you
And
mean?
yeah,
you
like,
know,
Insert
second
Andy meme.
one would be Pan. Never mind, not Jiren. It'd be Pan.
yeah, it
I'm
is.
fine with that too. Just give me someone better.
I'm sure we can find something.
Not
Yeah.
your trolling better. Actually better.
um, yeah, as I said, like I think I already got rid of them, so it's kind of hard for me to think of anyone else that I would get rid of. So I will leave it at that. Kaio, did you have anyone you wanted to add? I know you already said Chi-Chi.
Honestly, there's no one that I can think of that like I actively hate enough watching to want them gone.
Fair enough.
So
All right. Next question from Dorgard. How much did y'all pay to get Bobbity added to SparkingZero?
None. They had good taste to pay on to put in Bobbity themselves.
yeah,
Yeah. I was just gonna say, jokes on you to think I have enough money to convince one of them to do that.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
probably also true.
just funny that they gave Evil Boo slot to Bobbity. It was just between those two, and they said, "Oh no, we don't need Evil Boo."
Blessing Team Boo with Team Mobbity.
Yeah.
Bro,
Just five different Bobbities.
Bobbity, bibbity, and then just copy and paste them. There you
Yeah,
go.
the other clones that we didn't hear about
Later.
till now.
Yep. Yeah. From Arm Draws, how much Zenny can we pay you to install Peel-Off into SparkingZero?
0, because I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be busy for the next 18 years after October, so
After that,
Well,
done. Cutting them off. Kicking them out.
well, 18 years plus. It's not
18
over
No.
years,
after
18 years
No.
plus.
No. Mal just said 18. They're done at 18.
kicked out. Going to
I'm,
ask you, be like,
I'm,
what,
I'm
what,
gonna,
what happened to
I'm,
such
I'm,
though?
I'm gonna message him 18 years from now and say, "You remember what you promised? I have audio recording of it, so you have to you got to put the foot down."
Oh man.
That's gonna be hilarious if they ask. It's like, why are you kicking me out? I'm
It's like
sorry.
sorry.
I made
Even
a deal.
even before you were born, I made a deal. You know. All right. What about you? Any comments on that enemy?
I mean, I do love his transformed alt, but yeah, I wish, but nope, I wouldn't probably pay for it.
I mean, here's the better question: how much would you pay for Peel-Off to be in a SparkingZero DLC? I think that's the real question.
$5.
You're giving too much credit at that point. I feel like.
Probably. So, next question from Carrick. What is a Patara that you would like to see added into the league? And I'll ask the second half of the question after we answer this one.
Well, for me, it would just be some extra key stuff, and maybe like that's not between like fighting spirit and launches, or and also maybe something for defense as well, because defense is definitely having trouble right now, and it's coming around. But I mean, like I said, we could use some more defensive options in the league. So
Kyle?
Because we've kind of implemented a fair amount of the ones that we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't think of anything really right off the top of my head that I would want extra, because some things sound great, but then you try to balance it for the league, and it's like, oh Jesus.
Yep.
I would like to see. There was one that we tried to workshop early on, but it didn't work out. It was like I think I remember I like took it because it was like from like Pokemon. It was like similar something like close combat where it's like you do more attack damage, but of course then your defense and your like special defense and like Pokemon goes down or whatever.
Oh, wasn't that
But
like
it was
close quarters or something we were trying
Yeah, it
to?
was
yeah,
like
something like
it
that.
was close combat. Um,
And
yeah.
I would have liked to try to see if you can implement like, two different versions of it where it was like, you know, as your health goes down, you get basically like you get serious attacks, but also you get weaker like defensive wise. And then
Mm-hmm.
like you can maybe do one where it's like a super base or something like that. Or it's over in like and like all encompassing, but like the boost for like I don't know if it was like doable, but like if you do instead of like 0.5 for indignation and serious, you do like 0.25 or so it's not like that crazy.
Yeah.
Or like if you can set it to where it's like, okay, once you hit 2 bars, then you get like +1 or something, or like +1 and everything like that. But then you get a -2 to like these stats or something. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, something like that. That would have been nice to do, but I don't think we ever really got to really like
No,
balance that out
and
or like
and the
really
other half
go
of
off
that
of it.
was also we would have had to have commissioned a mod for that in order
Mhm.
for that to be done. Um, and it just hasn't been high enough on the priority list for us to go that direction. Although that does touch on one that I think the one that I was honestly most excited for was an idea that G came up with, which was basically a reverse Eternal Life or reverse Dendays. And I think Budokai Tenkaichi 2 had this like heart virus
Oh,
where
yeah.
over time you lost health. And the idea was we could give you a bunch of stats, but your health is constantly draining, and you're forced to use that your stats in order to get use out of it.
I
And
think they also had that in Raging Blast 2 as well,
maybe
but not BT3.
yeah, not
Yeah, I remember the gimmick was, I think if you did the heart disease, both characters lost damage, but you could also then do the antidote on your own character, so you didn't lose any health.
yeah,
Only your opponent did over time.
yeah. Um, yeah, that was the one I wanted to kind of see the most, but it's because I even know kind of where in the code we would need to make the change to do it. It would just be a lot to do. So, but yeah, that's the one effect I would have liked to have seen added. That we could have commissioned like there. So, going to the second half of this question, from Carrick, are there any changes you would like to make to any of the existing Pataras? Um, I will note some of these we're considering for 2025, maybe or maybe not. But I'm not going to tip my hand too much. But like there are some Pataras I would like to see that have multiple downsides. I would like to see some of those downsides, uh, not if not removed, lessened. Like a good example is for the Unleash Latent Power. You know, a lot of people have wanted those negatives reduced or removed.
Join my cult, OP cult, and I mean, I would like to say I'd love to see something with. I mean, I don't know, like the harshness of demonic bargain, OP is a little harsh, but I mean, I mean, I don't know about that, but that's just like something that I mean, it'd be kind of cool, but but don't really know about, like, don't really know if we should change or not. Be more testing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have anything like in terms of Pataras that I would like to see change, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. When we learn the ability to how to affect the what's the word? Um clash type of stuff. That was kind of like the big thing I had wanted for us to find out. So other than that, I can't really think of anything.
Yep. All right. Last question from Arm Draws. If hybrids win the bowl this year off of Adult Gohan's bug costume, they actually don't win it and they get sent to South Kai, with second place getting the real trophy. No.
No. All right. I I'm gonna kind of take the reins on this one because this keeps getting brought up. It's We get it, okay? It's been something that has been apparently in the league since 2021 and only just got noticed now. So kudos to hybrids for noticing it when no one else did. Everyone else had the opportunity to see it and get it because the character was an FA. It wasn't like it was a team-based exclusive character. They are also currently, let me look at the things. They're currently 4-5. They're not blowing the league away even with this character. Like, kindly get over it and let's move on. We've already said next season that we are going to fix it.
Yep. And I mean, I'm just gonna echo what I have said to others in the past. Like, I specifically told Budokai when they had Adult Gohan to use costume to not to use costume one, but to use base Gohan specifically because I'm like, look, this B2 is bugged and it does a crap ton of damage. Use it, and it should give you a good time. And look, It's been something that has been known about, and teams have been advised on it for years. So yeah,
I mean, to be honest, as the former coach of the hybrids, I didn't realize that was an issue. Didn't realize that actually wasn't a thing until after I left, and I don't think anyone else pointed it out to me either in the team chat
yep,
back when I was still on there. So I don't think they actually knew about it, and just kind of someone just kind of pointed it out to them. So
yep. So, but yeah, we know it will be going away for 2025 to be reverted back to what it should be on Costume 1, but we did not remove it specifically because it did not come to light that it was a full-on bug caused by our mods until well after hybrids had picked up adult Gohan. And to basically go back and nerf their character right after they pick him up like that, specifically because they picked him up because of that, would have been unfair to them for the season. So
I'm thinking because of that. I think they picked him up because we wanted the adult Gohan back then because we wanted the old Gohans back.
yep. Well, you still got Trunks, so yay. But anyway,
Gohans plus one.
yep. Anyway, that has been all of our questions. Thank you guys for joining us today on the Dragoncast. Any closing remarks, guys?
Not in particular. Just look out for Sleeper Games and All Stars, and thanks for all the support and everything. Hopefully, we can continue this and keep on getting better. Hopefully, y'all enjoy the matches.
Yeah.
Good luck to all the teams out there, and let's have another great season with the rest of the second half.
Yeah, I mean, second half is always the hard part, right? So you start winning in the second half, and you still get the playoffs. So you still always lower teams should still still try like still gonna be guys can all make it in still. Like no one's out yet, so anyone can do it. So I believe you guys below that still can make a run. Just like GT does, or GT did it for a long time. So
Yep. Oh, and with that, if you guys have liked what you have been listening to, don't forget to like and subscribe. Join us in the Discord. Link is in the description. And until next time, we'll see you guys around. Later.
See ya.
Bye.